Today I'm going to show you how to make this flower bouquet coasters, as you can see here. And I'm going to be showing you how to make them. First, I'm going to tell you the materials that you'll need. So you're going to need this green yarn for the leaves part. You'll need a white yarn or any color you want for the base. And you're going to need the flower petals part. I'm be using this blue. And I'm going to be using this 5.5mm hook. Let's get started. First, we're going to be working on our base. I'm going to be using white, but you can use any color, like a cream color and stuff like that. We're first going to need to make a magic ring to start our base. Just like that. Now we're going to be making 2 chains. Now we're going to be making 12 double crochets into the magic ring. Once you're finished with your 12 double crochets, we're going to be pulling the tail to tighten that magic ring. And we're going to be doing a slip knot on our first double crochet. Just like that. Now we can move on to round 2. So we're going to start by chaining 2. And then we're going to be doing an increase stitch into every stitch. But after we do 1 increase, we're going to be chaining 1. So what I mean by that is we need to start with an increase. And once we're finished with our increase, we're going to need to be chaining 1. And then we're going to start on our other increase. And then we're going to be chaining 1. And then we're going to be doing another increase. And then we're going to be chaining 1. And you're just going to repeat that. When you're done with the round, it should look like this. And you should skip that last little chain right there. Now we're going to be slip stitching into our first double crochet. So we're going to be skipping the 2 chains. We're going to be going into our first double crochet, which is here. I'm going to be doing a slip stitch, leaving a hole there. And we're done with round 2, and now we can go on to round 3. To start with round 3, we're going to be chaining 2. Now we're going to be doing is in that first stitch, we are going to be doing 1 double crochet. And now in that second stitch, we're going to be doing an increase stitch. Just like that. And then we're going to be chaining 1. Now for that next stitch, you see how there's gonna be a hole, like a big hole there? And you can see that little chain piece. We're going to be skipping that chain and we're gonna go into that other double crochet. So skip the chain, go to that double crochet right there. And we're going to be doing 1 double crochet. And then in the next stitch, we're going to be doing an increase stitch. Now we're going to be chaining 1. It should look like this. It should be 3 double crochets and then a little chain, 3 double crochets and then a little chain. So you're going to be doing 1 increase chain, 1 increase chain, and so on like that. Once you're done with that round, you're gonna be ending with a chain, and now we just have to slip stitch. So we're gonna skip those 2 chains, and we're gonna go into our first double crochet, which is right here, and we're gonna be doing a slip stitch into that first double crochet. Now we're done with round 3, and we're gonna be starting round 4. This is going to be the last round if you want your flower bouquet to be this size, but you can do as many rows as you'd like. Next, we're going to be chaining 2 to start off round 4. Now we're going to be following a different pattern. So we're first going to start off with 1 double crochet into that first stitch. And we're now going to be doing an increase stitch into that next stitch right there. And then we're going to be doing 1 double crochet into that last stitch until we get to one of these gaps. We should now have 4 double crochets onto that little thing. And now we're going to be chaining 1. And we're going to be continuing that pattern. So 1 double crochet, increase stitch, and then 1 double crochet, and then a chain right here. And you're going to do that all around the round. Now, once we're done with round 4, we're going to be slip stitching. So we're going to skip the first 2 chains, and then we're going to go into that first double crochet right there. And we're going to be slip stitching there. I'm going to stop here. This is the size I recommend for a normal size. So it can look like this. but if you want a bigger flower bouquet, then you can. You just have to follow the same pattern as we've been doing. So for example, if it's an even number like this round, 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, then you're going to be doing an increase stitch into the last stitch for those double crochets. So you're going to be doing 1, 1, 1, and then an increase. So for even numbers, you're going to be doing an increase into that last double crochet, and then you're going to be chaining. But if it was an odd number, you would be increasing into the middle double crochet into the round. And you just have to keep on doing that until you're happy with the size of your base. So now I'm going to be cutting it and be ending it. And to finish it off, we're going to be acting as if we're doing a chain, but we're going to keep on pulling and pull it tight to close it off. Now I'm going to be weaving in these. I'll be right back when I weave them in. Now that we're done weaving in our stitches, it should look a bit like this. And now we can start on the weaves for it. So I'm going to be using this green yarn for this. And we're going to be starting with a slip knot. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be choosing any of these double crochet stitches. It can be any, but I'm gonna start with one of these like first ones after this chain. So we're going to be needing to put our hook first, and then our slip knot, and we're going to be pulling it through, and we're going to secure it with the chain, just like that. Now we're going to be chaining 4 more. So now we're going to start with a double crochet, and we're going to be doing a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. So we're going to be doing 1, 2, 3. So this stitch is where I'm going to be doing my first double crochet. Just like that. And now we're going to be chaining 2, just like that. And then we're going to be doing a double crochet into that same stitch right there. Should look a bit like this. It should look like triangles. And then we're going to be chaining 2. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Chains do not count as a stitch. So you're going to be doing 1, 2, 3 into the 3rd stitch. And we're just going to be doing a double crochet. And then we're going to be chaining 2. And then we're going to be doing a double crochet into the same stitch. to be chaining 2. And I'm going to be doing a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. And you're just going to repeat this step all the way through the round. The whole thing should look a bit like these stitches. Now for this last part, you're going to be ending with the chain 2. And then you're going to do a double crochet into that stitch right there. Just like that. And then we're going to be chaining 2 and ending with the slip stitch right over here in this double crochet. Now we're going to be ending the round. We're going to just cut it. And then we're going to be ending it. Now I'm going to weave in my stitches before I start with the petals. Alright, now when you're done, it should look like this. And now we can start on the petals, the flowers. So I'm going to be using this blue yarn. Let's get started. So we're going to be making a slip knot into our yarn. And then we can choose any place where the stitches show up from underneath. I'm going to be choosing this one. And then you're going to put your slip knot through the hook and tighten it. Now you're going to pull it through and secure it with a chain. Now you're going to make a chain of 4. And then you're going to be doing 6 double crochets into the next, this little triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Should look something like this. If you have really thin yarn, you might want to do maybe 1 or 2 extra double crochets. Now you're going to leave the loop big and take out your hook. Now you're going to find this hole where it separates your first double crochet you did and the chains. And you're going to put your hook through that hole. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go your hook through that loop. You're going to grab the yarn and you're going to pull it through that hole, and then you're going to put your hook through that loop we left open. Now we're going to pull on the yarn tight to tighten both loops. And now we're going to secure with the slip stitch. Just like that. And you can see we made the flowers, the little tulips, onto it. And as you can see, they're gonna look like this. Something like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 2. And then you're going to do a single crochet into that next stitch right there. And then you're going to make a chain of 2. And then you're going to repeat the steps. So 6 double crochet, slip stitch, chain 2, and then here we're going to do a single crochet. So we're going to make 6 double crochet into the next stitch. And once you made your 6 double crochets, going to leave the loop big, go through that hole right there, yarn over, pull through. You're going to go into that hole that we left, pull the yarn tail to tighten that. Make a slip stitch, chain 2, make a single crochet into the next, chain 2, and we're just going to repeat the steps all the way around. And they should look a bit like this. You can like move them around to kind of just puff it up like that so they look nicer. And then we're just going to do that every stitch. Once you've finished with your last stitch, we're going to slip stitch. So in this little like chain piece, that's where you're going to slip stitch. Just like that. Now I'm going to cut it. And we're going to finish it off. Now we just have to weave in our stitches. Once you've finished, you should have a really cute flower bouquet. And to make it like a bouquet, you just flip it over and then fold in half for a few times. And you got a really nice bouquet. And it can also be used as a coaster. Bye! Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, please.